Listen. You smell something?
On to your butts.
The battle of wits has begun.
Take your sticking paws off me,
finds a way.
damn dirty ape!
Hello there.
This is Sparta!
You're a wizard.
Yes, they deserve this. I hope they burn in hell!
Take a big step back and literally
Fuck your own face!
Do or do not. There is no try.
Beetlejuice.
You ever dance with the devil in the bed?
I'm your huckleberry.
Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Hallelujah!
Aim for the bushes.
Holy shit!
That doesn't make sense.
I believe the common denominator of the universe is not harmony, but chaos, hostility, and murder.
Yeah, that'll. Is it backwards for you? Because it looks backwards to me.
No, it's
right.
forwards for me.
Oh, yeah, I gotta. So, I have to move this cable because right now it's going behind. Like this is my work computer, so I'm like have it wedged in because I don't have enough cable length yet to move it around. So it's like literally peeking between that and the whole microphone setup.
Beautiful.
It'll get moved to over this direction, so that way it'll have the Godzilla stuff in the background and not Master Chief and Ninja Turtles and little Godzillas.
Can't even tell what it is.
They're just little itty bitty baby Godzillas.
Can you move that the microphone cable thing? No, the one right next to the camera.
Zip ties.
Much better.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Zip ties, motherfucker.
Zip ties.
Apple pie, motherfucker. Ah, that was fun. Jesus Christ. Welcome to Pop Culture Kick, where we stub our toe on the facts that movies are good and stubbing toes sucks.
Brought to you by SparkoSoft.com.
Sparkosoft.com.
It's like
Sponsoring this
Mr.
video.
Sparkle from Simpsons. Hey, if they want to sponsor, I'll leave that on for a full time. But it was just a mistake that I lost the key.
How much does it cost to get a new license?
Oh, like $100.
Shit.
Damn.
Oh, there's the key, man.
Yeah, well, I've got like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Your video's frozen.
My video?
Yeah.
Eh?
Not frozen.
You know what? I think it's mine because Mark is frozen too.
Yeah, I see your cat. My cat was like looking like a prairie dog, like up on his back legs, like staring at me, like weird. Anyway, I'm Nick Zilla, the Sparkosoft Master, coming at you for this pop culture kick.
This is Keith at PCK_Keith. And just wanted to say thank you, Sparkosoft, for not endorsing this video.
And this is Mark.
The Mark.
I'm here this morning, and I'm awake, probably.
Beautiful intro. Alright, so what do we
Wake
got?
me up before you go.
All right. So, anyone watch anything over the weekend or over the last week?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Keith.
We watched the Fantastic Beasts: The Secret of Dumbledore.
Jen and I went and saw that yesterday or the day before.
I have not seen that yet.
I know what his little secret is.
It was well, I had no idea what was going on. She's the Harry Potter fan. I was like, well, I get popcorn and a drink. I'm good.
I mean, it was all right. This one felt more like a Harry Potter than the first two did. Um, and I think that's just because they knew, Fantastic Beasts had like declining revenue with, the second one
Well, I
made
mean,
a lot
you
less than
got
the first one.
you got Depp going out too.
Yeah, and then so now the third one's out, so they had to bring in and do some stuff because it was supposed to be 5 movies, I think 5 or 7,
Okay.
and
Yeah, 'cause
so
it still doesn't. I watched all the Harry Potters with her, and the Secret or Fantastic Beasts hasn't lined up with Harry Potter yet.
I was not going to. It's like 100 years before.
But
Yeah.
if they make like 5 or 7 of them, then I'm assuming they should tie into each other.
Well,
Maybe,
it may
yeah,
show his parents, but it's not. It's never going to show Harry Potter.
yeah. 'Cause you got to remember,
No. But it shows Dumbledore, who is the headmaster or whatever he is.
yeah, Dumbledore's like 200 years old.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
literally the only thing like linking it to the Harry Potter thing.
And this one had Mrs. McGonagall, young Mrs. McGonagall in it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
But
Gryffindor.
if you see anything, you would see James and Lily Potter, maybe a young Hagrid. You'll see Tom Riddle maybe at the end
Yeah.
of the series, right? Because those took place in the I think the 60s,
I'm
70s.
assuming Sirius Black too.
Yeah, well, because all of them were friends in
Right.
high school then, so
Right.
in their school. So if anything, it would end at that. But I don't know if they're gonna make another one. I think they said that this might be the last one if this one doesn't do like extraordinarily big.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's always the danger, right? Like if they don't do their, projected um revenue, then they
Exactly,
get canceled.
exactly.
Yeah.
And this one, like I said, it felt cool because you got to see like the German Ministry of Magic. You got to see, and then they went to was it like Bangladesh or something?
Fucking Krauts.
It was crazy. The action in it was awesome. I thought that one chick, what was her name? Uh, the one with the book. I thought that was really cool. How she used the book as like her port keys and powers.
And the attack books.
Oh yeah, that was cool. But they didn't end this one. It again left. It didn't. If they knew, like they said, they were saying that it was going to be the last one. They didn't end it. They left it open again. So we'll see.
Right.
Well, so looking at the grosses right now, they only have a $57 million gross. It looks like worldwide it's 207 million, like close to 208 million worldwide. So, I mean, and plus it's not even like this weekend, it's not even first. It's actually third for like
Yeah.
the latest dailies behind the Bad Guys and the Northmen.
Oh, I want to go see the North. That looks
that's
fucking
number
great.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Northmen is number 2 and the Bad Guys is number 1.
I don't think I've seen.
That comes from Friday though, so that doesn't include Saturday, and obviously not today because it's 7:30 in the morning.
Well, when we went to it, Northman had already taken the big theaters, and this was already in the smaller ones. And I mean, it was full. There was only like 2 empty seats in there, so I mean, people are still seeing it, but I, it's Harry Potter fans. I think they want Harry. They want the people they grew up with. I think this probably would have done better if she would have released the books first and allowed people to get familiar with the world that it's in because it's all new to them. This takes place before everything else. The only common name they have is Lestrange and Dumbledore. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to look at it too, because let's see, opening weekend says that this one made basically $42 million. You look back at the domestic opening for the second one, The Crimes of Grindelwald, $62 million. And then
the first one
was like $74 million.
Yeah, so that's that downward progression still. Like each
Yeah,
one of
so
them
that's
has
a
been less.
huge drop off going from your domestic opening for your first one to the third one.
And Universal, I think, is changing. So they're opening that new park right down the road from the other one, Epic Universe, and there was supposed to be a Fantastic Beasts like world, and I think they're changing it. They canceled the Fantastic Beasts part, and it's changing into another like Ministry of Magic Harry Potter instead.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
That, and you got, well, I mean, it looks like they were trying to get rid of Ezra in this one because I don't know how much more acting Ezra Miller's going to get with the shit he's been doing.
Oh my god.
He got arrested again. He threw a chair. He threw a chair at a girl's head this time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
He needs to get out of Hawaii, man, and he needs some help.
Yeah, he's mentally unstable.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
So the Flash is done, but I think he was supposed to be the like one going forward to launch into the new, get rid of the Snyderverse and launch into the new universe of DC movies. Now that Discovery owns them, and
yeah,
I don't think he's coming back.
No, I think he's done.
I mean, he'll be back eventually, but I mean, like the way he's been like dressing and change, like it's a huge change, and then he's out there. He's been arrested like 4 times.
You know what he looks like? Johnny Depp from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like that's the way he's dressing, just weird as shit.
He's very eccentric for sure, but it just, he didn't play that big of a role in this movie, and I don't know if they're gonna bring him. If they make another one, I think they're just gonna write him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
too much of a liability for PR. I mean, hell, they cut out. I mean, this Amber Heard thing with Johnny Depp, which the trial is amazing. It's so entertaining.
Oh my god!
Yeah, those clips.
When he described the shit on the bed, and he couldn't do it without laughing because it was so absurd.
Or one you sent me where it's like, "Is this your box for cocaine?" And he's like, It might fit some cocaine in it, but if you're running down the street, all the cocaine will fall out."
Like normally when I've been handed cocaine, they're in little baggies. It was in a
little baggie.
Did you hear him trolling over the hearsay?
Oh my god, that was where he would sit there and he'd be like, and he...
No?
Right, he would say something and he's like just waiting for the guy to object.
It's crazy because I was like, all right, I want to see how this looks for others because I've been just watching what's on TikTok because it was live on there, and in the clips, and so I went to the news, and sure as shit, like you go to ET News and they're painting Johnny in this like negative light. They're showing all the clips that show positive for Amber, and then I went to some other tabloid site to check their clips, and it was completely different. It was completely like pro Johnny, and I'm like,
that's so media bias.
So crazy. Well, I mean, yeah, entertainment. They're the ones who pushed real heavily with the Me Too stuff. It was all over their shit. So
that's media bias. That's agenda setting. That's everything.
It's crazy how negative, like they were editing out in like complete sentences to make it look like it was different than it was. It was crazy. But
and everybody's got to understand that neither of these two individuals are like perfect in this situation, right? Like they both have fuck ups in this relationship. They both have some blame. They both got to take some blame.
Neither of them are innocent of anything.
Well, I mean, and they're bringing in others. So you've got the other day they brought in Paul Bettany, where they're like, "Hey, have you done cocaine and pills with Paul Bettany?" And the guy looks at him. He's like, Johnny Depp looks at him. And he goes, "That's a weird question to ask right out of the blue."
Yeah.
But again, it's a defamation case, right? He's suing her because he lost all of his acting gigs.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
It's a defamation case.
Deformation.
The defamation.
Yeah, it's deforming.
Okay.
Yeah, deformation. So they're he Crimes of Grindelwald, right? He was the bad guy, and they come to this one. They bring in Mads Mikkelsen, which I love. Mads Mikkelsen, he's awesome, but he did not play the role the same way as Johnny Depp did. It wasn't as menacing as Johnny Depp's version of Grindelwald.
Right.
was.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Just the look. Maybe that's what you heard. You went and saw the movie, homie.
Compared to the Johnny Depp.
Said.
Yeah.
That's what
Hearsay.
Justin's saying.
Hearsay, right?
Yeah, I mean the Johnny Depp one, he had that blue contact or white made his eye like stand out, real white on one side, and
Right.
This one Mads's was like just subtly done, like it just big differences, even the style, the way they dressed, the hair. I mean, it was all completely different, and it sucks that Johnny didn't get to finish that one because this is the one that was leading up to like the big battles and cool shit. And then Pirates, he said he'll never work with Disney again, ever. They offered him, they said they came to me for $300 million, which I can't remember if they said that they did offer him 300 to return after they found out that he did not hit Amber.
Yeah, but the damage had already been done. They'd already
Johnny was already
dragged him through the mud.
Yeah, Johnny was pissed off that they fired him on just a bullshit like tweet or something, and he said,
"Well, yeah," and that's why I was surprised that James Gunn decided to come back to Disney.
Well,
they did the same thing to him.
For him, so Johnny Depp's never even seen Pirates of the Caribbean. A lot of actors don't go watch their own stuff,
which is crazy.
Well, a lot of them don't go back and watch their own films. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of interviews where people
he's too busy.
Yeah. So James Gunn just loves his characters, and what was crazy about that is that was one of the only times I can remember where all the actors said they would not come back. They would all not come back for that third movie if James Gunn was not back. They said, I don't care how good the script is, how good the director is. If it ain't James Gunn, we're not doing it.
You talking about Guardian?
It's like pay him whatever he wants.
Yeah, they fired James for a tweet that was like 8 years ago or some shit.
All right. Well, speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3, they listened to the... What is that?
This is the comic book where Rogue gets her powers.
Okay, cool. We're talking about Guardians.
Yeah, I've got comic books sitting on my desk. So keep talking.
They listened to the soundtrack for this movies. Are you like?
This is Nova number 1.
Nice.
He's just like doing the Dobby thing over there.
First appearance of Rogue.
And then
first appearance of Black Lightning. Here's that one we were talking about. Remember this one, Keith? Where you had to look it up, the She-Hulk?
Yeah, where they have her on TV without any clothes.
Yep.
That's all. The other books are in the other room. I thought they were here. I was going to show you the first Ghost Rider and stuff.
Word. So a little bit of entertainment news then. Let's see. On Friday, the ratings came in, and apparently WWE's Friday Night Smackdown topped the NBA playoffs.
Wow, that's actually
Well,
pretty big.
well, wrestling's been getting huge. I mean, go look at the toy aisles and
Getting huge again.
yeah, go look at the. I mean, wrestling's always been big, right? Little kids have always loved wrestling. There's always been a fan base for it, and then
Yeah.
older people like it. You know, people that grew up with WWF. You know, those areas. So, yeah. So but I've noticed through like Comic Cons and looking at toy aisles and all this stuff, their section for the WWE figures have been getting crazy. Did you just spray the cat?
Oh, you saw
Were you
We
just
see
fucking
everything.
spraying the cat?
They
We
were
see
both right
everything,
here.
Keith.
They were both right here playing around with each other, but they were getting a little aggressive. I wants it.
My cats know to run. That's like the noisy cricket from Men in Black.
Men in Black. They know to run when they see it too.
Give me your clothes. Come with me if you want to live.
Give me your boots.
So anyway, so that's crazy
The
that
motorcycle.
WWE, they topped the playoffs. That's a huge like paradigm shift.
I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the social justice movement.
Well, I mean, football, NFL took a massive hit.
I
mean,
stopped watching sports because of it.
I'll still watch. I don't have cable, so
Yeah,
I watched the
don't have
Super
cable,
Bowl.
so I did watch the Super Bowl this year, but really what brought me to the Super Bowl was the halftime show.
With Eminem and Dr. Dre and all them.
That's
Yeah.
what brings
Yeah.
everybody to the Super Bowl.
Oh, speaking of
Bring Guar to the Super Bowl.
So, oh, yeah, you can't see it. Anyway, remember last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago. It was just you and me, Mark, the one that didn't record. We were talking about Bright in the
Yeah.
sequel. Yeah, that finally got scrapped.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Netflix just scrapped it because of the Will Smith stuff.
Is that Dobby?
It is. He pops up in the screen.
Give
All
him a
right,
sock so he'll go away.
I didn't hear that about Bright. So, what about?
They were still in production up until yesterday or today.
Is that for Bright 2?
Yeah, they were still in
Yeah.
production. It got delayed because of all the pandemic stuff,
Well, look,
and
man. Will Smith just got canceled.
and now they're it says they finally just pulled the plug, and Netflix is doing a lot of stuff like changing right now.
Well, yeah. Well, one reason because of that is because of their subscribership. Their subscribership's been steadily going down.
Yep.
In favor of other streaming services.
Hey man, I tell you what, I rarely watch Netflix too much now. I'm in love with HBO and the Paramount app. Watching Halo and all the stuff that's on Paramount. And then HBO's got all the Warner Brothers stuff. So those are two major studios that run everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it just looks like just earlier this month they said that Lock and Key is going to be ending with season 3.
Oh, that is a good show. I saw that Netflix is about to introduce ads into their subscription. It'll be a lower subscription, so it'll be a cheap one like
Yeah.
how
Like
probably
the
like
face.
probably like $5-6 a month, kind of like
That's
how it was.
that's how we have with Peacock, where we have ads.
Yeah, but like, here's there's a problem with that though, right? Because if you do see other like media services that do ads, those media services are free. They're not,
Right.
subscriber based. So I'm not gonna sit there and pay for Netflix to put ads in my eyeballs.
No, and that's like Hulu. It was like what, $5 to have the ads, and then like 7 originally when it came out to get no ads. You had to pay the extra $2 a month to get no ads. And to me, obviously, I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to watch commercials. It's the whole point,
Right.
reason not having cable.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's gonna turn into, you're in order to watch what you want or everything, you're either gonna have to pirate it, or you're gonna have 20 different subscriptions to all the different apps in order to watch, instead of having
Yeah.
one place.
Yeah, and then they're all going to come out to probably more than what it was to just have cable.
Yeah, the cable
Yeah.
companies are all shifting to internet companies,
Yeah.
internet providers, and phone. I mean, look at Spectrum, right? Who used to be, they bought Time Warner, and then now they're pushing their cell phone service, which is I think it's a subsidiary of Verizon. Um, that's their big money maker now, is the subscriptions from cell phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, their Netflix is doing that. I think they said that they're getting ready to drop the password sharing again. I mean, this is like the
Yeah.
20th time I've heard that they're going to do that, but
Well, it looks like from what I saw in an article from March, it says that they're testing an extra fee for subscribers that share passwords maybe.
well,
So
I think
they may not like drop the password sharing, but they may just charge people extra.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't even remember what my Netflix is up to now. It's like $17 a month or some shit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I have the multi person or sharing on mine, and
Yeah.
the 4K and all of that. So I have the full bore one. Um, it's like $17 a month. Back in the day, when, remember, we used to watch it together on Xbox. We could both hop into the same movie and have our little avatar, our little avatar sitting
Yeah.
there and
They're just like sitting there like
watching the movie.
yeah. Yeah, what was it like Science Mystery Theater 3000? And they're just
Yeah,
sitting there.
and it was like, back then we were paying like $7.99 a month for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually downgraded from the top one that has like all the 4K and stuff, uh, because they don't have a whole lot of 4K movies that we're interested in.
It's a lot of their own content that's in 4K.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, like HBO Max and all those are where you get those apps where you get all your 4K and your Dolby Atmos and all that stuff, not Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a reason why a lot of the cable providers now, don't all have 4K, besides obviously the content producers not using, 4K cameras and stuff, but there's no point since cable companies have been losing subscribers like, to go over to streaming, there's no point in investing in that 4K format because if you can just, roll over and start a streaming service that streams in 4K, then, who cares about cable?
Exactly. Because so cable companies, if people don't know how it worked, was essentially just like this with all the individuals. They would have to pay for the Fox package with all theirs. So you pay $150 a month for cable. Well, Fox was demanding $6 or $7 a month, right, from every subscriber that Spectrum had that had Fox channels.
Yeah.
Then they want, and every other channel would put in. So the cable company at the end of the day might only make $50 out of that 150 for themselves to run your service and your boxes because they had to pay for all those individual channels, HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, they didn't get those for free. They had to pay the licensing to put them on their service.
Yeah.
So it's the same type of thing now. You're still gonna, if you want all of them, you're gonna be paying $100 to $150 a month just in streaming just to get everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as soon as Netflix started streaming and then Hulu started streaming, that was like the death of cable.
Hulu, I feel was the big. I mean, Netflix was big, but back then they were
Netflix was huge. I mean, they killed Blockbuster.
all of them,
All the other rental services.
Hollywood Video, Blockbuster, all those things, and then which is crazy. I think if I remember correctly, Netflix went to Blockbuster to say, "Hey, we have this service. Would you like
to buy
us, and then we can put your movies in everyone's house?" And they said no. A year later, Blockbuster's fucking gone.
Yep. The enemy came. The enemy came to you, and they said, "Hey, let's make a truce."
And that's not the
And
first
you were
time.
like,
I mean,
"Nope."
there's a lot of shit that has happened like that, and big companies coming to another company and saying, "Hey, would you like to acquire us? We got this cool tech." No, okay, and then bam, they put the other business out.
I mean, for that smaller company, obviously, like for like Netflix, for instance, that works out.
Yeah, Hollywood Video had this. What was it called? Um, it was a box that you would put in your house and connect to the internet, and it would have all the Hollywood Video movies on it streaming.
Nice.
And I can't remember what it was called, but it was
it was like a Cricket or something.
no, I don't remember what it was, but it would Cricket was the internet service from AT&T back in the day, or from Singular.
No, there's something else called a Cricket.
It was like Star. I don't know. Anyway, it they tried that for a while and it started picking up, but then Netflix came out and just decimated everything because it was all free. It wasn't a pay-per-view box.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. But yeah, Netflix is changing their stuff up. They're losing subscribers all over the place. Massive amounts of people unsubscribing from Netflix. And they got to figure something out. I mean, hell, they got Netflix gaming now where I think you can play games through their shit. Like they're trying all sorts of different things.
Yeah, but there's obviously, you had GameFly back in the day that did that same thing. And look at where they are today. Like I haven't seen a GameFly commercial in like forever. Now that we have, now that they have the Microsoft Marketplace, you have the PlayStation equivalent. You can buy all your games on the Switch online and everything. Like there's really not really a market for that sort of thing anymore.
I can't even tell you the last disc game that I've bought. I mean, I bought Halo Infinite in the Steelbook Collector's Edition, but I sent it off to get graded. Like I never even opened it.
My Xbox doesn't even it doesn't have a disc.
Yeah, everything's all digital. It's easier because I don't have to go swap out discs. I can just click and go.
Yeah.
You know what? Last one I got was the Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah, that would be the last. That's the last disc I got.
Yeah.
And honestly,
I didn't even buy that one.
When
I just bought it because the prop hunt.
I never even
oh
played
my
the game.
god, prop hunt's so fun.
It's so stressful for not doing anything.
Let's see. Oh, there's I started watching the show called Severance on Apple TV. Have you heard of it?
No.
It stars what the fuck is his name? The one that in Step Brothers, the brother, that's like rich and he's like singing in the beginning with his wife and his kids. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen the other guys in forever. But is it this? Is it Adam McKay? Adam Scott? Adam Scott?
From Step Brothers.
Yeah, I'm looking Severance up on IMDb.
Oh yeah.
Adam Scott. Yeah.
So that show is pretty crazy. So what it is they put this thing in your head. So if you're in like a corporate job where like the stuff that you know and you do at work is confidential, they have this thing like where he's going up an elevator and all of a sudden it's like switch and his like he's sitting there and it's like snap. And the outside version of him like goes dormant and now his work version's there. So essentially the work version never leaves work because he knows nothing outside of work. And in the outside version knows nothing about what he does inside work. It's crazy.
That's pretty interesting.
Okay, so you're like, so basically they're like this piece of software or something that's in their head is like compartmentalizing their brain.
Yeah, it splits it into
it's like a
what's a dual
type thing.
Well, like a dual drive, right? Where you're running like on Apple where you run Windows. Right?
Yeah.
It's two separate things running. And so yeah, as he goes up, so in the first episode he's interviewing this girl that, you know, she just had the procedure done. She's freaking out because she doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know anything about where she's at. She thinks she's kidnapped because she had that procedure done. She doesn't remember anything outside of work. This is the beginning of her life in work, this version of her. And he's like, look, I was in the same spot. He said, I threatened to kill the guy if I ever found him who was talking to me and interviewing me. And he said, we ended up becoming best friends. And so he does this thing where he says, you're free to go out the door. And so she goes out the door and immediately turns around and comes right back in the door. And she's like, what the hell? Because that door is the switch. So when she goes outside, her other side, the outside version, is like, no, I need to be at work right now. And goes back in through the door. So the inside version doesn't know that she thinks she's just going out the door and immediately it's like a magic trick and coming right back in. And so then they sit her down and explain it to her and all this shit. And so it's crazy to think of it that way. It's a cool show. It's only 9 episodes long on Amazon, but it's crazy. Like if you watch,
what was the name of it?
Severance. So like they come into this he comes up this elevator and he goes to his work floor and he's like trailing.
Let's see if there's a trailer.
There is trailing through this maze of like hallways where it's like 3 minutes of the camera just watching him walk, and these hallways are all white. There's doors, but I don't think they go anywhere. And he's just walking this like maze. Hello. And he ends up right in the middle. This is like green patch of
and
carpet.
I have, of my own free accord, elected
sitting
to
in the middle.
undergo the procedure known as severance.
It's really good.
That's crazy. You think this is the future of mankind?
Yeah, well, I'll insert the trailer here.
To sever my memories between my work life
I'll put it up.
And my personal life.
It's crazy. If you want to share it, Keith,
I acknowledge that once the procedure is complete, I will be unable to access my personal memories whilst on the severed floor.
Say gratitude.
Nor will I retain work memories.
Hey!
Sorry, when I return home at the end of the day. I make these statements freely.
Hi, kids. What's for dinner?
We warned you.
About the greeting? You were kidding.
We hate it. How many reasons did we come up with?
8.
Good morning. Hi, Mr. Milchek. Mark, could I have a word?
Petey is no longer with this company.
I'm sorry, Mark. You guys were one of my favorite office
That's
friendships.
just so crazy
What
that
happened?
somebody
We'd
would
love
be
to
willing
tell
to
you,
do
but
that.
unfortunately non-disclosure policy forbids.
I confer upon you the advanced role of department chief. Congratulations. A handshake is available upon request.
Thank you. May I have a handshake? Do I know you?
My name's Petey. I'm from work.
So, we're friends?
I'm your best friend.
So they show them that video.
Nothing is what they say. I used to think it would take a monster to put someone in a place like that office. Especially if the person was himself. If you want to know what's going on
I saw
down
Christopher
there,
walking.
you'll find the beginning of a very long answer.
What's happening?
So,
it's pretty crazy.
You want to talk about compartmentalization? That's it, right there.
Yeah. Completely just severs your. They call it a work-life balance.
Do you know how to make your
when
eyes
you're outside of work, you never have to go to work because all you remember is being outside of work, leaving the office at 5 o'clock every day, up until the point where you show up at 9 a.m. So as you go to work at 9 a.m., in your brain, you immediately turn around and come right back, and it's 5 o'clock. You know nothing of the day.
Right, yeah, so it's like,
that's
and then
crazy.
on the other side, like, you know, your work mind only remembers what it does at work. So, like Nick said, like that side of your brain, it just knows that it's at work all the time.
You never leave work. You literally, you get in at 9, you go out at 5, and immediately you're back at 9 o'clock again. There's no blank space between.
Yeah, that would suck.
Crazy.
That was it. Well, see, okay, so like that's an interesting idea, right? A lot of people like you worded it, like they say that it's a work-life balance. But obviously that sort of thing, like it might sound ideal to begin with, but then you kind of start to think about it and you're like, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if that's cool. And plus, obviously, that opens you up for exploitation too.
Yeah, and it
Like
gets pretty crazy.
how many things have you done that you don't know about? You know, like
So
is there a guy who's like a hitman or something like that, and you know he has no idea like what his job is, but he goes in there every morning and just kills people.
So she, the girl throws something and hits him in the head and cuts his head while at work. So when he gets out of work, right, he doesn't know that he hurt his head. There's a note on his car where they say, "Oh, you fell into a projector and hurt your head. Here's a gift card for 1 free meal."
Good God!
Right?
Here you go. We're not
So,
gonna pay for your medical bill or anything like that. But here's the gift card.
Could you imagine, like, if you worked on like confidential, like, I don't know, airplanes or something governmental, and they have that severance, and you go in and something goes wrong, and you like lose an arm, and then you come out of work and you're like, what the fuck?
There's a note on your car saying you fell into a projector.
Yeah,
there's your arm on the car
your Chick-fil-A gift card.
Here's your Chick-fil-A gift card, and here's your arm back.
You got drunk at work and got tattooed. So what if when you do that, right, subconsciously, what if it's like someone that's like gay and not, hidden about it? So at work he's gay, and outside of work he's not. So he's got this.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine? Like,
his ass hurts constantly.
we could take that and turn it into a comedy real easily. Just the funny shit you could do to people.
Like, why does my asshole hurt all the time?
Right, someone who's from there that's on a different floor that doesn't have that, he comes up and like kisses him. He's like, "The fuck?" He's like, "What's wrong, Billy?" He's like, "My name's Roger, but at work you're Billy."
At work you're Mercedes.
So yeah, I started watching that last night. That was pretty. It was pretty cool, man. It's Ben Stiller produces it.
Yeah, that's
So,
interesting.
yeah. What about you? You guys watch anything else?
I've mostly been playing Minecraft because they actually just did the update for 1.18.30 that adds the deep dark and the warden and all that.
Ooh, nice. Is that in survival?
Yes. Yeah.
Sweet.
I've been doing the survival. I haven't gone down to the deep dark yet. I've just been mining and crafting as the game suggests. But I have done I've done like more exploration, like building my world map, making my world map bigger and stuff. Like I spent a lot of time yesterday doing that. I'll probably end up doing that today too.
Sweet.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like they're in the update before they extended the world boundaries. Like they extended the highest high to go up to like 320. And then like so yeah, why
Shit, you can already go
320?
like way up.
Yeah, now you can go even farther, and then same thing with below the y coordinates extends down to -64.
Sweet.
That's the expanse that's known as the deep dark, and that's where you can find like those underground caves systems, but there's also like underground like like ruins and stuff like that that you can also explore to possibly get like some different types of loot. And then they changed the how the ore is distributed throughout the throughout your y coordinates and everything. So it's pretty interesting.
Nice.
Minecraft is one of those games where I just keep kind of coming back to it. Like I might not play it for 6 months or something, 6 or 8 months or something like that. And then once I get back into it, it's like I'm fucking hooked again. It's like now I gotta binge Minecraft for like, the next 3 weeks.
It's a casual game. I mean, I still pick it up too every now and again, and we'll just. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck it. I'm just gonna dig all the way down to bedrock and blow everything up, and
Well,
have
now,
fun.
so now your bedrock, but y coordinate 0 or whatever, and the bedrock extends up a little bit farther from 0, but they replaced all of that bedrock with this new thing called like deep slate. And then that's what allows you to go, down to the negative y coordinates to
I'll have
be
to
able to
check
go
it
into the
out.
deep dark. So,
I always loved
yeah.
like digging down like in free mode and finding like these massive like caverns with mine carts and tracks and
Right, right.
cobwebs.
But now you have cave biomes.
That's cool.
So you have like a lot more variety in the caverns that do spawn in the world, and then what spawns in them, what types of, some of them even have trees down there. That some of them have like lichen that glows down there. And then there's new resources, there's new animals and all that they continue to keep adding to the game. So that's the one thing that was really really great about Minecraft even early on before they were acquired was just all of the development that they continued to do on it. Now that Microsoft Studios owns Minecraft, they have the budget to be able to continue on, forever with developing this video game. Um, with these updates, because they have all that money behind them, the Microsoft cash behind them to do it.
And
And
Minecraft
yeah,
is one of their bigger, properties.
well, Minecraft is like one of the biggest intellectual properties of all time. I mean,
They bought it for, was it 20 million or
I think
20
it was a
billion?
I think it was yeah, I think it was a billion. I think it was like in the billions for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they bought it from Mojang, with the understanding that they would keep it, not come in and meddle with it. So that if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, that Mojang team is still helping with all
Yes, yeah. They're still developing. They still develop it. It's just Mojang now falls under Microsoft Studios as the subsidiary of Microsoft.
Yeah.
But yeah, so genius what Microsoft did, obviously being like way more hands off with that property because they trust in the developers to know what they're doing to continue developing the things that that the community wants to see. They take community feedback in that studio very, very seriously. People said, caves are boring, caverns are boring, and here you go. You got the caves and cliffs updates now. But also, another thing, I just went into another part of my world. So, like, I've had a survival world going on for like a few years now. And the thing about it is the new updates continue to update in my world as well. Like, from my spawn point, I can go down to the deep dark if I wanted to. The point that I spawned in that was generated years ago, I can go down into the deep dark if I want to from those coordinates. But but obviously the parts of the world that have already been previously generated on the overworld part at least, all that stuff is the same, right? All those small mountains and stuff like that are the same, but I went into a new generated chunks yesterday to start mapping stuff out, and I was encountering like these massive, like giant mountains that go beyond what the world border was, the height the world border was before this update.
That's cool.
So as you go and explore your world, you're going to see things that you've never seen before in Minecraft.
I need to jump back into that one where we made the tower by dropping the lava and water, and then we put all the stairs and stuff and ladders into it. It's
Yeah.
still there. I mean, I still go into that one every now and again and play. It's got Mom's cavern that she built.
Yeah. You still gotta come into my Minecraft survival world and see what I've done. I mean, I've done like a lot in this survival world. Like I have like these high enchanted tools and armors and stuff like that, and I'm gonna start making more sets of armors and stuff like that as like backups, or if somebody wants to come in my world and look around and stuff like that.
Keith looks like
Crazy.
he fell asleep with his eyes open.
Yeah, I don't really get into Minecraft.
Well,
Keith's got to get that rip view.
I don't understand the premise of it. I don't know.
It's just fun to just chill and lay back. Like
yeah.
I listen to like all the Game of Thrones books on audio. I just throw the headphones in, just walk around. That's when I built that giant ice castle that you and I were working on.
Yeah.
And I just go around and just build shit, blow shit up, and like, you know what, this would be cool to build a fort into. Let's do that. And before you realize it, like 6 hours goes by.
Yeah, that was like my first experience with Minecraft. Was I got into the game and I started playing and all this, and next thing you know, I looked at the clock and I'm like, "Holy shit! I've been playing this thing for like 8 hours."
It happened all the time. I'd be like, "Damn, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning."
Yeah. Like once you start playing, it'll hook you in.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. One of the games that had a big update, over time, Keith and I just started picking up playing again is Battlefield, man. It just like Battlefield 4 was, it was just unplayable at launch.
It's typical DICE.
It was unplayable at launch. It just bad issues left and right. But now, it's shit. It's been almost a year. I mean, it came out September or October. I mean, fuck,
Yeah,
we're already
I think,
over halfway to the next year. So, give it time, let them get all their updates out. And it goes to show, EA's like, hey, you got to pump this game out and get it out, and it's not done. They should have delayed it another year to get it 100%. And that's one of the things why I like Microsoft is that they're like, look, Like Halo, they delayed Halo a year, even though they guaranteed and promised everyone that it was going to launch the day the new Xbox launched. And they said, you know what? He, um, what's his name? Phil Spencer came out and he said, hey, we need more time. It needs more time. We have to make sure it's right.
That's and yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I think a lot of developers need to start doing with these publishers is like, look, we need more time. Don't force this crunch deadline on us, to get this shit done before X amount of time. We need more time because it's going to be better for the gaming community. It's going to be for the gamers themselves.
Yep.
The end user, is going to have a better experience with it, and it's not going to get bashed so much in the community.
They're going to dump a game, out, get those initial, sales right off the bat, and then it's going to be dropped. They're going to see a massive, unloading of people that just berate it and downscore it, and the developers like, all right, cool, we made 100 million off of it, but it's but that could have made 200 million.
Yeah, right. At the end of the day, it's going to hurt your overall bottom line. Like, yeah, you might get a whole bunch of money, like straight off the bat on launch, but then people start playing the game, like you said, and reviewing it and trashing it, and there goes a potential of, like you said, maybe double, even more money, just because of the word of mouth. Once the reviews come out and people start, playing the game, and it's so damn broken that you can barely even play it, that people are gonna switch it off.
And look at. I mean, Battlefield's a perfect example. Battlefield's had a pretty big following, and this game ruined their reputation. It just it hurt them bad. And they're gonna feel it in the next game too.
Yeah.
And again, this last year was horrible for every developer.
I mean, they just need to take their
time. It didn't have to be. Nope. Honestly, you had all these people. You had a target. You had your target audience that was staying home. All of your workers, all of your development workers could have stayed home and worked on the game while they were at home, and just put countless fucking hours into it.
Actually, I lied. 343 won the game wars.
After having the delay. I mean, and they still haven't shipped the full game. Halo Infinite's out, but it doesn't have the co-op that they said would be there at launch, right? That's still another season away.
Speaking of which, season 2 is going to have co-op.
Probably not right at first. I thought they were dropping Forge first and then the co-op. So because that game's open world, they got to figure out how to do. They're having issues with co-op in this massive open world. But I think I saw that they're going to drop a battle royale mode into it this time on season 2.
So this says nope, I was wrong. Slated to release sometime around late August for co-op.
Flip it upside down. Yeah, that's late. That's like season 3.
When does?
So basically, you're never getting it, Keith.
I mean, I don't care. I don't really buy games.
It's never happening.
You got any of you start watching Halo yet?
No,
not yet.
We watched Sausage Party the other day.
I still haven't seen that one yet. But
you haven't seen Sausage Party?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. But
holy
great, good.
Fuck, that movie's inappropriate.
so wrong.
That's another movie that wouldn't fly nowadays.
Not at all. And it's crazy because it's only.
Did y'all hear that? What's that?
I was thinking it just came out like 3 or 4 years ago, but no, it's
Yeah.
it's older.
No, it's like 10 years old, dude.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear about Infowars filing for bankruptcy?
Like Alex Jones Infowars?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
I
so
can see why.
He's spending all of his money on his rip fuel and
well
No, it's lawsuits.
no, it's because of the Sandy Hook families. They actually rejected his offer to settle the defamation case, the defamation lawsuit, and they reopened the case. And so it's because they reopened the case. It's possible that the payout, because Jones, it shows here in this one Reuters article that he offered to pay them $120,000 to each of the 13 plaintiffs to settle the case. So they rejected that offer, and so him and Infowars could be on the hook for even more, depending on how the defamation case goes. So they
that's
filed
probably
for
gonna hurt.
bankruptcy. They filed Chapter 11.
That's probably gonna hurt.
yeah. No, I don't watch that show too much.
No, I never did. I mean, I only caught like some of the funny meme clips and stuff like that, like the
Same.
Gay Frogs clip.
Same. I just they swing too heavily, into a lot of conspiracy
A lot
theories.
of crazy conspiracies, but the problem is like the act that Alex Jones puts on in that show is that this stuff is real, even though he knows and everybody else knows that this shit's totally fake. The
He's
act that
doing
he puts on,
he's doing the same thing that he makes fun of and complains about the other media
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He's
You know,
just
and-
doing a more extreme version of it.
Yeah, I don't watch it. The only things I've seen is the memes of it, and
Well, plus also the other thing too is the money angle, because he's like telling you that they're putting chemicals in the water and all that stuff, and then the next
We can
ad
tell you
cycle
the
runs
water
around and he's
purifier.
like, here's some pills that will counteract those fucking chemicals that they're putting in the water.
And here's a water purifier for only
Right.
$49.99.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like
One of those
he's
water
giving you,
water
he's
purifying
presenting a
straws.
problem. What's that, Keith?
It's one of those water purifying straws.
Yeah, the purifying straw. So he's presenting a problem, and then after that, because he knows that after that they're gonna just try to sell you the solution to this problem. So it's fucking snake oil.
exactly.
Yeah.
They get them all hyped up and excited. Oh shit, they're gonna come take away all your bullets. By the way, I have a new bullet company.
Yeah.
10% off your first 1,000 rounds.
By the way, we're also selling bullet insurance. So if the federal government comes for your bullets, you're federally insured.
Don't forget the cloud insurance. You gotta get your cloud insurance.
Get your chemtrail insurance.
Yeah, I see that shit all the time. It's like I said, I never really watched him because I was like, this dude is full of so much shit. Even if he's got an accurate news story, he wouldn't know because he just makes it all in entertainment anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's just fucking funny. I mean, it's funny, like it's entertaining to watch like those clips and shit of him just like going off and just screaming at the camera like I'm sad. But
why is no one listening to me?
Why doesn't anyone take me seriously? Like, because you're the dude in the tinfoil hat on the fucking soapbox screaming with the fucking sign, the end is nigh. It's like, yeah, that's you, but you have this green screen studio instead and a fucking camera. That's all it is.
Did you see was it the new Spider-Man movie where that's where Jay
Yeah.
Jonah,
Yeah, where
Jonah,
J. Jonah Jameson is
he's selling supplements and shit.
Yeah. That was fucking hilarious. I
The
liked
Daily
that part of the
Bugle's
movie too.
Infowars.
Yeah, he's
And then
Infowars.
they
He's out
show
in
that it's
form.
just him with a green screen.
Yeah, dude. That shit was funny.
Coming on next, Spider-Man's a menace. But first, let me tell you,
Get some
Jay
Spider-Man.
Jonah's Go Juice.
Get some Spider-Man insurance. If Spider-Man fucks up your car,
Does he leave webbing on your house? We'll take him to court.
Get that Avengers insurance too, so in case if the Hulk fucking smashes your fucking house and kills your family, you're insured.
The Hulk decides to take a megaton shit on your house. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, anyway, I don't know how we got to this from Battlefield, but
dude, I'm sure it's funny, but I'm sure that there's probably like somebody out there in the Marvel universe that does just that. It's like this enterprising like insurance salesman that starts this company up for like this crazy shit that's been happening in the Marvel universe.
well, they have that one government organization that comes through and cleans up everything after the event.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure there's someone's like, have you been afraid of Thor's hammer flying through your house at Mach 2? Don't fret anymore, because if it hits you and splatters your brains, your family's insured.
You're covered.
Like, have you ever thought about, like, Thor, like, throws his hammer somewhere, and then he gets into a fight and dragged on, and he just reaches out and pulls it? Like, how many houses and cars and people does that? He gets it, and it's, like, covered in entrails.
Mjolnir's been flying around for like 10 minutes, just destroying all kinds of shit.
Get your
Thor's
flash. Get your flash insurance so you don't end up like the chick on The Boys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Mjolnir's like 10 feet away, and he goes to call it, and it decides to go the other way around the planet to him. It just like wipes out an entire nation.
And it just hits all the babies on its way back to him.
Like, I mean, you got to think about it. Like, Hulk's like jumping and, all these big battles and all this shit. Like, you never see the chaos. Like, Batman vs. Superman showed a little bit, Bruce Wayne was
you
all
never see
the court cases and all the memorials to all the people that died for the General Zod Superman. But, in the Marvel movies, no.
MCU. You don't see like any of the fallout from like the battles and shit like that in New York, and like people
fucking Age of Ultron, they lift an entire city and then drop it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see the part where they're like trying to get everybody on the fucking the fucking ships and all that stuff to get them off and everything like that. But yeah, you don't see like any of the other stuff, like the rubble falling down from that piece of earth that they pulled up out of the fucking earth. You don't see any people like hanging on to like the sewage pipes and stuff like that as it's like floating in the air and shit.
Or you got like Doctor Strange where he's like doing his circles and like where he's teleporting. Like, what if there's somebody standing right where that teleport comes on? You like cut him in half.
There. He just cuts him in half.
He looks through the portal and all you see is like from 13 Ghosts. When the glass cuts the guy in half, you just see half a person standing there. You're like, oh shit.
Look, I did it again.
You see Doctor Strange like taking the body into the portal to get rid of it.
You're right. He just opens up another portal and just like walks through that and like just looks back, like making sure that nobody saw it. Like,
oh shit! What happened over there? That's crazy.
What? Like, I just got here, you guys. What happened? What's that? What'd you do?
So yeah, I'm excited for this Doctor Strange movie, man. I'm excited to see what they bring into it. They've got the new trailer came out. You can actually see Professor X in it. I wonder if we're gonna get Deadpool. I mean,
I hope so.
And then you got the Miss Marvel show coming. That's got I think we're gonna see X-Men stuff in that as well. So I mean, we got some exciting stuff finally coming to the
Yeah,
MCU.
yeah. You got Thor: Love and Thunder 2, where Jane Foster is gonna be.
That was a cool
You know,
trailer. Did you watch that one?
she's gonna be Thor, Lady Thor. Yes, yeah, I saw that one.
Did you see that one, Keith?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see the new Thor trailer?
No.
Dude, Natalie Portman's all buff too. They showed pictures of her a couple months ago. She was like, she had her arms all up and stuff. And you can see it in this trailer when she catches Mjolnir. Like, she got big old bicep and all that.
It's fucking ripped. Well, they also they add
looking like Mark's arms over there.
They add like veins and shit like that in post production too, though. Like you remember like the Hugh Jackman Wolverine where he's like rising out of the fucking the Weapon X thing, like just
his
how
veins
vascular
had
he
veins.
was. His veins had veins. Yeah, it's like they add a lot of that stuff in post production, but like yeah, I mean, they gotta have something to work with, right? You gotta have a base, to work with. Look at fucking Chris Hemsworth, as fucking huge as that dude is,
Yeah, people were saying that the Jane Foster, they think it's a body double because she's wearing a mask that covers half her face, all these clothes and stuff.
It could be.
But if you go look at and find pictures of her on the set that people took pictures of, she looks like she bulked up quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously there's like this hidden secret in Hollywood of people like taking performance enhancing drugs and stuff like that in order to get fit for these roles, to put on masks and all this stuff. They say that it's it's a diet of like, chicken and rice and broccoli and shit. They're like, no, y'all have the budget, y'all have the money to buy performance enhancing drugs, and you have the best trainers that you can find in Hollywood and all that stuff. It's like we know you're trying to pull the wool over our eyes, but like we see through your shit.
It's very easy to change your body or any ways you need for a role when you don't have to go to work. You don't have any other obligation except for that.
But
12 hours
that is your work
every day. Yeah.
Yeah. That's literally your job for months up to leading up to, starting, film production and all that, principal filming and everything like that. Your job is to go to the fucking gym and get fucking ripped.
So like Christian Bale, where he went from The Machinist to Batman Begins, right?
Yeah.
He said that all he had was like cigarettes and whiskey to get down to like 90 pounds. It literally was just a skeleton. It was the sack of skin over him. And then 6 months later, he had put on 200 pounds of muscle or some shit. Like he bulked up. And then he actually put on too much. And then he had to diet it back down again because he was too big.
Yeah.
Too much mass, but when they do the like when he does a bulk like that dude's eating like 9 bagels at one time. Like it's a carb load of fucking shit to mass up that way. But the body, as soon as he stops working out, his body's going to thin back out again because it's not.
Yeah. It's not naturally.
Yeah.
It's not naturally built. That's the other thing.
But yeah, those guys are all doing. They've all got the drugs, the doctors, hell, even Dr. Disrespect talks about it. He's 6'8". The dude's pretty big, and he's, pretty beefy looking, right? Muscular, but he talks about how he has to take steroids. But especially before he goes and does like a 14-hour stream, he'll inject steroids into his leg. Before he does these long streams.
Well, like look at what happened with Kumail Nanjiani. Look at how he changed overnight. He was this skinny comedian, actor, and he got cast in what was it, the
Eternals?
The Eternals? Yeah. He got cast in the Eternals, and then it's only like maybe a year later or something like that, and the dude's fucking huge and ripped. You know, you don't make that kind of progress in that short amount of time. Not taking PEDs
unless you've got a $2,000 an hour professional team that's sculpting every muscle for you with those.
Well, even then, your body can't do it. Like, that's not how anatomy works. It's not how biology works.
Exactly.
All right, guys. I gotta head out.
Where are you going?
Gonna go have brunch.
Well, your brunch can wait a little bit, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, we've been at this for a little while. We
your ass was
next
late.
week.
Wow.
The fuck I was.
The fuck you were.
Brunch.
Hold on. Should I show the camera that your text of you taking a shit 10 minutes after we were supposed to start?
That was me.
That was Mark.
That was me. I was taking.
Oh, I thought that was Keith. Either way, both y'all bitches were late.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm out of here.
I mean, we can cut it. You got anyone else got anything last to say on it?
I was gonna talk about some of the Star Wars games in development. There's like 7 different Star Wars games in development, but we can save that for next time.
Yeah, I'll build up some. Let's do like a video game show next week, and we'll get up some video game news, and there's a whole bunch of pop culture shit we can talk about next week. So we can cut it on this one. This will be a good shorter one for me to test too, to see how the recording went for the video. So
yeah.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's cut it. I am Nickzilla. You can find me on Twitter at PCK_Nickzilla.
That's lame. This is Keith. You can hit me up at PCK_Keith on the tweets.
And this is Mark, and you can hit me up on my Facebook. You just find me on my Facebook. Just search for Mark on Facebook. There's no other Mark on Facebook. So you just find me on Facebook.
Mark.
There's no other Mark even attached to Facebook at all.
No Mark, but the Mark.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
What is the most unattractive male first name in the English language?
What you just said, Keith, is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Most of all, fuck you!
That's all, folks.